Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Still seeing sunny conditions out there this morning with continued breezy conditions, seeing peak winds 20 to 24 miles per hour in the last hour, and those temperatures climbing into the 40s. Expecting a dry weather day. We'll keep the breeze around and expecting some additional cloud cover as well as we move through the day today. If we look at the current surface analysis, we have that area of low pressure off the southeast coast, keeping a tight pressure gradient over the local region between that and the area of high pressure that will be building into the region over the next day or two. But overall, expecting that high pressure to move in with some dry weather over the next couple of days. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, we have some northeasterly to northerly winds in the lowest levels, and then we're seeing those winds more northerly to northwesterly as we get into the mid and upper levels. Overall, generally 20 to 25 knots through the entire column, with the peak wind around 24 knots. Seeing that freezing level today at the surface. If we look at our current visible satellite, we can see we have those clear skies across the area, cloud cover just off the coast, expecting some of that to move in along the coastal areas of the Delmarva Peninsula as that northeasterly breeze continues through the day and into the afternoon. So we could see some scattered broken skies as we get into the afternoon, and then possibly once again as we go into the evening. So if we look at the GFS model here zoomed out, as not much action over the next couple of days. We'll look at the broader pattern here. Again, we have that area of low pressure, tighter gradient over the local region. We'll see that start to lighten up as we get later in the day on Wednesday, as that area of low pressure starts to move off to the east and high pressure builds in, dominating over the area. We'll see skies clearing and staying with dry weather with those winds lightening up. Thursday looks to be a very nice day with slightly above average temperatures and light winds. And then going into Friday, we'll have this area of low pressure tracking across the northern part of the country. A weak boundary approaches our region. Right now, it looks like that's going to fizzle and dry out as it pushes through. So a very slight chance of maybe seeing a light sprinkle or shower, but overall looking dry as we continue into the day on Saturday. And we see a disturbance coming together and moving up into the region on Saturday, mainly during the PM hours and into the evening hours. As you can see here, some precip chances moving into the area. Then we'll see a quick break before another slight chance as we go into early on Sunday morning. Then it looks like things dry out for the second part of Sunday, but then another area of low pressure potentially moving up into the area. Reasonable agreement with some of the modeling here that this area of low pressure moves through. The timing not quite exact, but so we could see another chance of rain showers moving in with this area of low pressure, probably some breezy conditions as well as we move into our start of next work week. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, seeing those yellow conditions for those winds at or above 25 knots, again with those breezy northeasterly winds, expecting those winds 10 to 15 knots, gusting up to around 22 to 23 knots, but can't rule out the possibility of exceeding that and getting closer to that wind advisory criteria. So keeping that yellow risk as we go through the day, and should see that start to diminish as we get past the sunset time frame. Overall, expecting a fairly seasonable day with a high temperature around 44 degrees. And again, we'll see some increase in cloud cover with that northeasterly breeze bringing those clouds off the water. Seeing a ceiling develop around 2,500 to 3,000 feet, mainly during the afternoon hours. And as we go into the evening, we'll see a break in some of that cloud cover, and then potentially another ceiling developing around 2,500 feet after midnight. We'll also see those winds staying still slightly breezy, but not quite at that wind advisory criteria, out of the north to northeast at 7 to 12 knots, with those peak winds around 16 to 17 knots. So keeping those low temperatures right around 31 degrees once again for our morning tomorrow morning. Tides are running about 1.5 to 2 feet above normal, expecting that to continue over the next couple of days. And then as we look at the extended forecast here, again, tomorrow we'll start off mostly cloudy, and we'll see a decrease in clouds as we get later in the day with a seasonable high around 45 degrees, and we start to move into a warming trend as we get to the end of the week and into the weekend with high around 50, and nice day for Thursday with just partly cloudy conditions and light winds. As we go into Friday, we see a high around 55 degrees, about 10 degrees above average for this time of year, but we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions and some slightly breezy conditions with that boundary moving into the area, and just a very slight chance of maybe a light shower or sprinkle late on Friday, but not looking very likely, about a 10% chance at this time. Saturday looks to be the warmest day with a high around 60 degrees and our lows in the mid-40s for the weekend. We'll see mostly cloudy conditions and that chance of rain as we get into the PM time frame, looking at about a 40% chance of rain continuing overnight into Sunday morning, where we'll see once again a low in the mid-40s and then a high, a mild day for Sunday as well, high around 56 degrees. So we'll see that chance of rain kind of continue and linger through the day until we get to that next system, potentially moving in for Monday. As we get some better agreement with that, we'll be able to narrow that down more. But Monday's looking like a chance of some rain showers once again, and we'll see a slightly cooler day, but still above average with a high around 53 degrees. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.